Hey guys, Nick here. Today we're going to go through a few of my favorite functions when it comes to trying to extract data from within a cell, right? So when is that useful? It's when you notice that you have a certain column within your data table that's structured a very similar format throughout, and you want to break apart pieces of it so you can maybe aggregate or subset your data based on those different pieces, right? So for example, let's say we're working with this orders table that we've seen in previous tutorial videos. So if we focus specifically on this customer number column, right, we can at a glance notice that there's a very consistent structure to how these customer numbers are put together, right? So it looks like the customer number always begins with 2 letters, right, followed by a dash, followed by a 4-digit sequence. So if we're looking at this first take, I'm gonna go ahead and say that it looks like the first 2 letters of the customer number are most likely the state that the customer is located in, right? So let's say we want to, one of the things we want to do is pull out that state that the customer is in and see if there's any trends within, or when we subset by state, is there trends there, any trends we can glean from that, right? So we'll go through that next. We're going to work through that as well as a few other things, just to give you guys a run through how you can mess around with pulling specific pieces of a cell out. Alright, so the first function we're going to start with is a very basic one. It's the len function. Think of this function as really you're asking Excel what is the length in number of characters of the info that's in this cell, right? So if we look at this customer number data, most of the customer numbers, like we said, that starts with the 2-digit, the 2 letters, followed by a dash, followed by 4 digits, right? So that's really 2 characters here, plus another one, plus 4 more. So we know there's 7 characters in the customer number field. So the len function will show us exactly that, right? So it's equal to len, and then you provide the cell you want the length in characters of, and Excel gives you that, right? So if we copy it all the way down, you can see all of these customer numbers are 7 characters in length, right? 4 plus 1 plus 2, 4 plus 1 plus 2. So the length function effectively shows us the length of the length and the number of characters of the cell, right? That one's pretty easy. I want you to keep that one in mind because later we're gonna use that when we want to do a little more complex manipulation of what's in the cell, right? But let's move on. The next function, the left function, and really the right function, these two are almost the same exact thing. The only difference being that one is based off of looking at the cell from left to right, versus another one's looking at the cell from right to left, right? So let me show you what I mean. We're gonna work specifically over here right now. If you look at this cell, AC7, the contents of the cell is just the letters A, B, C, and D, right? So this A, B, C, and D, we can use a left or a right function on it. But to illustrate how this works, I'm gonna show you this professional illustration, right, that I put together. So what the left or the right function does is, if you're working with the left, it starts at the leftmost character, right? And then it will give you the leftmost character plus an X number of characters to the right of that based on what you supply in the formula, right? So if we were to take the left of this cell right here and we said, Excel, give me the left plus 3, or the left and 3 characters, it would give us A, B, and C, because it would start from the leftmost character and give us the first 3, right? Which would be A, B, and C. The right function is the same thing as the left, but we're talking about starting from the rightmost character, right? So if we say, Excel, I'm going to use the right function, give me, starting from the rightmost character, give me the first 2 characters, then Excel will give us this letter D and the letter C. If we were to say, Excel, use the right function and give me, starting from the rightmost character, give me the first 4 characters, then we would get D, C, B, and A, right? So let's put this into practice and see it actually in Excel. Right, so again, the left function equals left, your open parentheses, and then you have to provide what cell you want Excel to look at, right? So we know we want it to look at AC7, then comma, the next argument in the function is how many characters starting from the leftmost do you want to see, right? So if we tell Excel, give me the first 2 characters starting from the left, we should see A and B, right? So let's see if we hit enter, we get A and B because we said, hey Excel, go into the cell, starting from the leftmost character, give me the first 2 characters, right? And that's A and B. If we say, let's go down here, equals left, Excel, look at column AC, or look at cell AC7 and give me the first 3 characters starting from the left, then we're going to see A, B, and C, right? So we hit enter and we get just that, A, B, and C. We can even go on and just finish it out, right? Give me everything, right? Give me the left, starting from the left, give me the first 4 characters, and since this cell only contains 4 characters, it'll give us everything in there, A, B, C, and D, right? Likewise, the right function, same logic, but this time we start from the right. So we tell Excel, look at cell AC7, right? Starting from the rightmost character, give me the first 2 characters. So if we're starting at the rightmost, the first 2 from the right should be C and D. So that's what we're going to see, right? Let's close this parentheses out and we're going to hit enter. We should see C and D, and that's exactly what we see. Again, we can do another one. Equals right. Excel, look at cell AC7 and give me the first 3 characters starting from the right. Now we get B, C, and D, which if we look at the contents in AC7, the first 3 characters from the right, 1, 2, 3, B, C, and D, matches up. So the left and the right function, also not too complicated, right? Pretty easy once you understand. Just give me X number of characters starting from either the left or the right. Okay, so if we apply the left and the right to our customer number, right, what we were working with earlier, we can see the customer number, like we said, is structured as 2 letters, a dash, and then followed by 4 numbers, right? So if we just want the first 2 letters, because let's say we want to look at only the state, right? We'll say equals left, because we want to start from the left, right? And give me the first 2 characters, right? So start from the left in this cell and give me characters 1 and 2, so the first 2 characters. Now we should see GA populate. We get just that. So if we copy this down, we should see the first 2 characters for each customer number pulled out. Let's see if we're right. It should be UT, that's correct. Should be TX, that's correct. GA, all right, and J, looks like we're good. So we said Excel, starting from the leftmost character, give me the first 2 characters. All right. Likewise, if we say with the right formula, Excel, look at this cell. Starting from the right, give me the first 4 characters, right? Because we know already that the last 4 characters in a cell is the numeric portion of the character number, right? And it's consistent all the way down, right? So we get 7581 for this one, which matches, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? From the right. So let's copy to a random one. Let's say let's copy to this, right? So we should see 5805. Paste our formula, 5805. Let's copy this all the way down and we'll take a look. So now 6139, which also matches there, 7288, which matches there. So that's the right function, right? So left and right, pretty, like I said, pretty easy once you get the hang of one starts from the rightmost character, the other one starts from the leftmost character. Now, where we can add a little bit more flexibility, thinking a step ahead when we start to combine these functions, is the search function, right? So the search function, think about it like this. What the search function is going to do is it's going to give you the position of a specific character that you want to find in a cell, right? So if we want to find what position is the dash in for all these customer numbers, we can use the search, right? The search function. So ready? Equals search. First argument is what text do you want me to find? So we want to find the dash, right? Then where do you want to look for the dash? So then you provide the cell for Excel to look in, right? And then last piece is where do we start? What character do you want me to start from? So this gives you a bit of flexibility. Say you want to start after the first dash, and you know the first dash is always in the 3rd place of the customer number, and you want to see if there's any dashes after that for all these customer numbers. What you would do is you would say, hey, don't start from the first character, don't even start from the 2nd or the 3rd, start from the 4th character, because I know after the third character is where the dash is, so anything after the 3rd is where I want you to search, right? So start from 4. But because we don't need that flexibility for what we're doing, we're just going to say start from the first character, from there to the right, look for that dash, right? So we know the dash is always in the 3rd spot in our customer numbers. So when I hit enter, we should see the number 3 populate, right? Enter, and that's exactly what we get. So if we copy this formula down, right, we get all 3s because all these customer numbers are structured the same way, where the dash is the 3rd character in from the left. So search always starts from the left hand side. All right, so we copy that down. Now we're going to go a step deeper. We're going to use a few of the combination of a few of these formulas to help us do work where it's not so clear cut as far as how many, as far as the, or I guess not as clear cut, but it's not clear cut, but let's say it's not as consistent in the structure, right? So let's say we're working with this customer number 2. Here, the number of digits after the dash, you can see isn't very consistent. It looks like there's different numbers of digits that can be after the dash. For example, here you have 3 numbers or 3 digits after the dash. Here you have a lot more digits after the dash. To be exact, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 digits after the dash, right? Here you have 4 digits after the dash. Down here you only have 2. So we're going to use a combination of some of these functions to have Excel pull only what's after the dash, right? So let me show you guys how that's done. I'm going to run through it first, just typing it out, and then I'm going to walk you through the steps and kind of the logic of how we set the formulas up. to get the work that we want done, right? But first, let's do this. Let me take this. I know this is what we want to end up with, right? We only want the digits after the dash for every customer number, or customer number 2 here. So we'll try it out on these 2 different ones. So this is what we need to match, and let's see if our formulas match, right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start, ready, equals to the length, right, or len. I'm gonna say Excel, give me the length of this formula, a number of characters, so 6. Now Excel, actually no, let's switch it up. I'm gonna say Excel search for the dash in this cell and start from the first character on the left, right? So a third character in. Oh, sorry about that. So third character in, there's your dash, right? Okay, so set Excel, find the character number for that dash. It's number 3. Okay, so now what I'm gonna say is Excel start from, what am I gonna say, the right. Yeah, okay, so give me everything on the right for this cell, right? Now check this out. Where then, how many characters do you want from the right on? I'm gonna say look at the length of this cell and then subtract that from 3, and then I'm going to close this formula out. Did you catch that? We get 627, which matches the 627, right? Let's run through that one more time, right? So I'm going to say Excel search for the dash. Oh, what am I doing? Equals search Excel search for the dash, right, in this cell, starting from the first character to the left. Sorry. Okay, so of course, as expected, the third character in is the dash, right? So Excel gives us 3 as our feedback. And now I'm going to say one more time, Excel, if I can spell this correctly, from the right, in this cell, starting from the right, give me how many number of digits to the left. Oh, I'm going to say, give me the length of this cell, and then subtract where the position of that dash mark is, right? Close my parentheses, hit enter. Let's expand this a little bit, double click up here. So now we'll test this. If this is equal to this, just not an if, let's just do this is equal to this, and if it's equal, it'll say true. Ooh, we got technical difficulties here. Let me try one more thing. Oof, there you go. Did you see that? So what was happening at first, the reason it was saying false even though it's the same number is because Excel was reading this as text while this is an integer, right? So to fix that, I took our original formula, right? Let's do this. Original formula, right? And see, this is another nice learning piece. I'm going to say int, and I'll alt enter to give that a space. Take alt enter again to give that a space. So what I'm saying now is right? This is our original formula. Whatever the output of this was, right? Then I want you to convert that to an integer, right? Because we saw originally the output came out as text. Well, now we're saying this output, which is the work we did up front to get just the numerical piece of the customer number 2, right? Convert that output to an integer, right? So now we have 2 integers being compared. So now the 2 integers are the same. Before it was integer versus text, so off the bat Excel's saying no, it's not true, it's false, right? So that was a quick little tip we picked up along the way, right? Okay, so let's copy this formula all the way down. If you see, now we're getting those last pieces of the customer number 2, you know, only the parts after the dash. So what we did in this case is we said first we figured out what position is the dash in, right? And after we figured out the position of the dash, then we calculate the length of the entire contents in the cell, and then we say give me the piece starting from the right that's the length of everything minus 3, right? Because after we know if you knock the first 3 off, the first 3 characters off of the entire thing, well that's your numeric piece of your customer number 2, right? So we took some basic functions, right, that look at the characters within a cell and either give you the length of it or return pieces of it or finds the positions of specific parts of the contents of the cell, and we use them and we put a little bit of logic together to get Excel to give us exactly what we wanted, right? So now when you're working, you go forward and you're going through data, now you have not only a few different tricks up your sleeves as far as extracting data, but what's also important here is thinking about how you can piece together things logically to step by step have Excel do the work for you, right? But anyways, guys, that's enough for this video. Let me know if anything was unclear. Let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. And like always, smash the like button, smash that subscribe button, and then share this with any friends you think might need help. And anyways, I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Later.